Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. After I posted yesterday's video, I was reading through the comments like I always do. I try to read every single one, even the responses to comments. I know I missed some. Yesterday in particular, I thought those commentaries are pretty great. Yesterday's video was titled Grand Finale. I'll post a link to it if you want to go back and read the comments. And as always, there's some that I find really profound. Let me read one of those comments from Sister Chantel. Hi, Brother Den. I feel we are so close to the rapture. I enjoy your videos. I've been preparing my Bible for my unbelieving family. I placed a flash drive for the Left Behind that has lots of info about what has happened. I also left a letter inside with what has happened and the correlating scriptures in the Bible, which are highlighted. And page numbers included. I found it online. For anyone wanting some extra ideas for Left Behind. See you all in the clouds, brothers and sisters. Sister Chantel, I think that's a brilliant idea. It's such a great idea that I think the entire channel needs to take note of it. How many times we heard or said ourselves that we are tired of beating our heads against the wall trying to get scoffing people to listen? We know from prophecy there is going to be a great multitude of those who will become Christians out of the tribulation. Why? I say a lot of it is because of many little operations like this one. Leaving Bibles and notes and everything behind. I think that's going to have a huge difference. So this is a chance for us to really help out those who are left behind, especially our family members. Now, many of you can picture who is going to come over your house to check on you. I believe this will happen before people start taking the mark, at least taking it in large numbers. The ones who will come to your vacated home, the ones who come there first will be your mocking and scoffing family members. And there's a good chance they'll be looking for you. But instead they're going to find the Bible and notes and things you left for them. That Bible that you leave may stay with them the entire 7-year tribulation. But the main thing is so they don't take the mark of the beast and they become born again. So I think this is something we should all be doing. Here's how I intend to follow through with this on my own. First, I plan to gather up all the Bibles and New Testaments I can find, or I may even buy some more. I know we gave away most of them that we had when we last moved, but there's still several here, I know, that we can leave. And those little Gideon New Testaments are good for this too. I don't know if I have any, but anymore, but if you have those would be good. So if you also are planning to do this, by all means use every version you can get your hands on. Sometimes you can go to the dollar store and buy a very cheap paperback Bible. And I have a couple of those massive big Bibles that I may not use for this. I think they should I think the ones we use should be a little more portable. So let me know what you think of this project. I think it would be a great one for the channel. We could kind of run ideas past each other on this. So if you have any Bibles that are not already marked up or highlighted, I plan to highlight them as follows. I want to highlight all the rapture verses so they will know, proof positive, that this was not aliens or some other lies, and just forget about the whole thing right off the bat. Then I plan to highlight salvation verses, another color, because they must be born again. It's not going to do them any good to lose their soul no matter what else they do. So what do I mean by being born again? So if you pray and admit you're a sinner, and you believe that Jesus died on the cross and was raised from the dead, then at that moment you will be born again. You will have received the free gift of salvation that you will never lose. You will be indwelt with the Holy Spirit, will guide and teach you if you let Him. Now going back to those Bibles, then I want to spotlight or highlight a third group of scriptures in another color. I'm hoping that you viewers might help me figure out what that would be. But I want it to be those critical verses for someone in the tribulation period. Maybe including verses about not taking the mark, or the 144,000 evangelists, and definitely the second coming, and things like that. These verses will be essential during the tribulation. So right now I'm behind on my video production process, so I request your help in compiling the lists. I'm gonna post a starting list in the description box. You can check it out, and then please suggest other verses, and then we can put those in. And then later, not a lot later, because I don't know how much later we have, I plan to do a follow-up video, and then I can list all the verses and whatever else other ideas you may have may be useful. So I'm hoping that at least some of you will become involved in this and help these lists and collect Bibles, or maybe you can find some lists online somewhere. But I'd like, if we can, it's not a big deal, but if they're in order when we go to highlight these Bibles, might make it a little easier. Not critical though. And we don't want to highlight the whole Bible, because then nothing is highlighted. So, and then we'll want to put a note, maybe on top of the Bible, explaining about it. If you have one already that you can post, that'd be great. And the final thing will be, where will we leave the Bible or these Bibles? So we want them to be in a conspicuous place, but not somewhere where they end up getting moved or lost in the shuffle before that time. So I think the good thing about this is we're not helpless, we're not hopeless. We can do this, and we can be taking hold of the situation, not just being subject to it. Like we find ourselves in now. I'm with a world full of closed-minded people. I think we are right at the end. So I think now would be a good time to pivot away from what we traditionally do for winning souls and for a minute, and which is not working, at least in some countries, and work on leaving these spiritual care packages for those who they're not going to listen, and they will end up going into the tribulation. But if we can get this information out ahead of the AC's first lies, it'll make it harder for him to corral everybody. So let's help make that great multitude even greater. Revelation 7:9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes and palms in their hands. Yeah, there's no more diverse group than Christians. But these are the tribulation saints mentioned in this verse, and these are the ones that we'll be targeting with this. And we will pray for them now. God can hear our prayers for them now, before they're even saved. And someone who's won because of those on this channel may even become a tribulation evangelist. So I'm going to leave it right there for today. Let's plan to come back with this in a near future video. I know full well we might not be here for that video. But God bless you, and I'll see you next time, if there is a next time.